Welcome back. Sam the Electrician here, speaking about Alberta Separation, Western Independence. I wanted to make a little video today about a very amusing interview I heard last week. I believe it was on the 22nd, CBC radio, as it happens, with host Carol Off. She was interviewing former Conservative MP member Jay Hill. And it was very analogous to the situation that's happening all over Canada right now, with the Ontario-based CBC hostess talking to the angry Albertan and furrowing her brow in a vain attempt to understand the situation, as it were. Why we were angry and what could possibly be wrong. And so there was some highlights that I wanted to go over that was very telling of just the way Ontario and the rest of Canada looks at the West, especially the oil industry out here. At one point, she was talking about, they were going through all the usual talking points that have come up since all this started with the CBC talking points, and why do you want to separate, and landlocked this and landlocked that, and then she said, don't you think, this is from memory, but it was something along the lines of, don't you think it would be easier if you stayed in Confederation to sell your oil? And that made me stop. Your oil? If we stayed in Confederation, it would be Canada's oil. But the rest of the country does not want to admit that we have even an oil industry. They are all hell-bent on getting out of it. They don't think we need it, even though I'm citing older figures here, but I believe it brings in 90 billion a year to this country, something along those lines. We could do the math. 3.5 million barrels a day at 45 bucks Canadian, whatever that is. It's a lot of money. And it drives the economy. They can not admit it, whatever. We buy the buses that we use up here from Quebec. All the pipe has to be made somewhere. All the Canadian-made manufacturing items that we use up here are purchased probably mostly from Ontario and Quebec. So, like it or not, we're all wrapped up in this together. It's a national project. People from all over Canada are up here working with us. So, the sort of cognitive divorce of the oil sands is very, very telling. If you stayed in Confederation, it'd be easier to sell your oil. She says this is another reason why we need to just leave, because they don't want the oil sands. They seem to think they don't need it. Fine, we'll keep them. We'll take them out. The Republic of Western Canada has oil sands. Canada can claim itself to be a green, pristine country with no carbon pollution whatsoever, even though they're lying to themselves. That's fine. Another very telling thing that really, really stood out, even more so than the your oil comment, was when she said, well, 66% of people in this country have voted for a party that wants to phase out the oil sands due to the climate change emergency. So what's the problem with that? kind of thing. And that's the problem. That is the problem. We out here in the West don't believe in that. The Green Party leader, Elizabeth May, condescendingly saying that you can't be condescending when you explain climate change to these people because you have to try to make them understand. No, it's not understand. It's we don't believe it. So, climate change aside, the fact of the matter is the market is going to be open to our oil for many years to come. Many years. Phasing out of fossil fuels of Canada's industry is, 1% of the global emissions, whatever. So we could shoot ourselves in the foot and ruin our own economy for the virtue signaling to who? Who are you virtue signaling to, We don't understand it out here, and we don't care to even entertain energy on it. People need the oil. People are going to buy the oil. People out here need money. Canada could use the money. We could all use the money. So, once again, the East doesn't want the money. We'll keep the money. East doesn't want the oil. We'll make the oil. landlocked or not, it'll still get to market. That's not a big deal. That's minor detail. That seems to be a big sticking point with all the Federalists. Oh, we're going to be landlocked and no, hands in the air, Chicken Little. No, we'll find a way. Money finds a way. There's many solutions. I'll make a video on that and all the possible solutions that could be found to the landlocked problem. Not a big deal at all there. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. Sorry that I didn't make any videos on the weekend. Someone mentioned that they missed watching the videos on the weekend, which is nice. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your comments. There was a comment from Friday about if we were a republic, then we wouldn't have to appeal to the legal framework that I discussed on Friday. I understand that, and I fully agree that if we declared ourselves a republic, there would be no authority higher than our own republic, and that's probably what I would see it coming to. But I wanted to discuss the constitutionality of it, just out of interest that there is actually a framework to leave Confederation. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, so take it easy.